No, me.
Oh. And we're live.
So, holla.
Oh!
Well, let me get my Twitch device ready.
I have all sorts of notes here for all the games I've played.
Jesus, I literally played 2 games over this fucking break.
I have
It's
6.
4. 1, 2, 3,
Managed
4,
to carve
5,
out
6.
a little bit of time here and there for a bunch of stuff.
Oh, it's 6 console and 1 new mobile game, which I put 1 note for, and spoilers, this is the note. No, bad for me.
Okay.
No, because I didn't play any mobile shit.
Oh, dude, fucking TVGP 16 is full, it's kicking ass in the Rumble, let me tell you.
Oh my god, I haven't even competed in any of the fucking Rumbles. I haven't done anything.
Alright, there we go. Now we're live on both places.
Alright, there's got to be something. I'm going to put a card game in here. Phase 10. Booyah.
Oh, I'm assuming we stay away from board games, or do we?
We haven't really covered it in the past. I think mainly because Knobs and I don't play them.
Yeah.
They'd probably be okay. I wouldn't make them a real focal point, though.
No.
Cool.
No, if we played, I'm sure if were tabletop gamers, I'd imagine we would probably have more of a show dedicated to that because
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that's
something
cool.
really different. I'm just doing that so I played 3 things instead of 2.
Yeah.
No, we're trying to put together a monthly game night with some locals, and we played some Betrayal at the House on the Hill, Catan, and Sushi Go over the break with the
Nice.
family.
Settlers of Catan?
Yes.
Oh, fuck, that game gets so violent.
Yes, it does.
I
Hell of a lot.
I remember the last time I played Settlers of Catan in person, was playing with the people like I used to hang out with when I was a little kid, and the oldest one in the group still has that like power over the younglings,
Mm.
and he talked me into this horrible trade, and everyone started screaming at me. But I had a specific reason. I had a path to fucking victory.
I had a
But
plan.
I needed that piece, but he won because he got his piece he wanted. My turn would have won the game for me.
I got
And I was like,
bamboozled.
I could not fucking explain that to him.
Well, I mean, they were
Ruin
already,
everything.
they're already stringing you up at that point, so reason went out the window.
It's just like, all right, like, guys, I get it. I'm the youngest one in the group. I am bigger than all you motherfuckers.
I'll crack you in half.
I will destroy you.
All right, you guys ready to kick this thing off?
Yep.
Oh, wait. Oh, I did have another one.
Aha.
Aha. N-E-S. Sick. Punch out. Okay. Oh.
Me. All right.
I was going to live stream some Dead Rising 4, and then I just didn't.
Best of intentions.
Well, no, because like I was reading forums and stuff on Dead Rising and people complaining about it and whatnot, and the only people were talking about the ice sword. And I think they are overlooking one of the best weapons in history.
Hmm.
Home.
All right, you gents ready?
Yep, I'm just looking for my TVGP tweet to retweet.
Should I open up chat?
There it is, retweet.
It's been pretty dead lately.
Fuck it.
I read off all the choicest nugs.
Title.
All right. Let's get started. Excuse me. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, Mr. Knobs and Moonpier.
Howdy.
Let's just get right into it. Our first proper episode of 2017. Knobs, what have you been playing over this last, actually pretty nice 2-week break?
Well, apparently the 2-week break means I play games that only end in the number 4.
Okay.
Apparently. I did write down, well, first off, we'll start with Dead Rising 4. And, man, I'm really surprised that I love a Dead Rising game, at all. Like, it just scratches this insatiable itch I have for killing zombies. So at this point, my kill count somewhere around 110,000 zombies I killed over the break.
Nice.
And that's not playing all the time either. And again, like Frank West, another great Frank West quote. When you craft something, like he'll randomly say, "Journalist, adventure, godsend," and it makes me laugh every time he says something silly. So I'm pounding through that. I think at level 98 right now. Because I think you need 96. In level 96, you can fill up your trees, except for the one you need to hit 100 to fill up, which is your infinite run.
Ooh.
Infinite run button. So working my way up there, and essentially I am just clear cutting zombies.
Yeah.
Like that is pretty much I hit in the game. Either I find a bunch. All right, so. The Ice Sword is probably your best crowd control weapon for a melee-based weapon, but if you want to kill anything at an absurd clip, the Laser Cutter might be the best weapon for that since the Jazz Hands. I'm really disappointed that the Dragon Punch isn't in the game, because that was just kind of dumb fun.
No.
Yeah, and that the Jazz Hands weren't in it because that was just way too easy, apparently.
Yeah.
And I think that was the reason why that's not there.
Yeah, they kind of break it.
Well, and a split shot isn't nearly as effective as it was in the previous games.
Jeez.
So that's a little nerfed. But the Laser Cutter might be the most overpowered weapon I think I've ever accidentally figured out how to use. Well, because initially when you get it, like, you just start shooting at zombies. That's not how that gun's supposed to be used. Not at all. So the way it works is you're shooting out these little nodey ball things. So essentially you're creating electric fields. You're linking these nodes together.
Oh.
You have about, I don't know, a good, like, 3 to 4, maybe 5 seconds for each one of these nodes to stay on the ground. The trick is to put them on the ground and kind of make yourself like an electric fence, and then you shoot over their heads. So as you're shooting, as the projectile goes over their heads, it arcs to all the points and just this array of electricity on everything in front of you.
Jeez.
So your best bet for getting a ridiculous amount of kills, like I think my highest kill streak or hit streak is somewhere around 2,700. I think I was like 20 shy of Tom Gamers on one of his, which it caught me on a weapon switch where I dropped the hit count. And I was so mad because there was probably another 200 zombies in front of me. I really could have milked this thing. But the train yard. So the way I'm going and attacking the train yard and actually clear cutting zombies is I'll drop one node right in front of me at my feet. Then I'll put one on each wall inside of me, and then I'll just start raining down the middle. So I'm killing probably about maybe 20, 30 zombies per shot. Just dropping them.
Jeez.
Then move up my line, drop a couple more nodes, and eventually, especially when you're getting swarmed, you can kind of like keep dropping them in front of you, and as the zombies are coming at you, they're just dying, because there's no hope for them. So, man, that gun is so good. It's so good. I should stream it.
Well, it sounds fun to use, too. Instead of just like, I just spray all these zombies and they're dead. There's a little bit of skill to it.
Well, there's a little more strategy to it. Because, like, the best way that I saw, if you're in the open area, is you're making rectangles. Yeah. But you're going to bisect the rectangle. So you 1, 2, your third node is out in front of you, and then the other one cuts it off in the candy corn, and you make a rectangle. And then you move into the rectangle, and everything comes at you and dies, then rinse and repeat, and just keep piling these things on. And next thing you know, like your hit count looks like it's hitting tilt, like it's going so fast.
Yeah. Man, that's cool.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It sounds like really good design. Like, sounds like they're actually like making good progress in like evolving the weapons. Like, that's something I've thought they've done a lot of really well throughout the series. Like, from your base weapons to your original combo weapons in 2 to the ridiculous stuff they had in 3. I wasn't sure they could go much further after 3.
Yeah, but some of the weapons are just are ridiculously overpowered. Like the one combo vehicle. It looks like it's a wheelchair and a tractor, and it eventually turns into like this two-wheeled combine where you're just like slicing them up, and it's got a couple cannons on it for your extreme one. I really like the one that's the corpse launcher, not because it launches zombies, but because it's got dual flamethrowers on either side of you. Once you hit, I think 50 kills with it, or 75 kills with the vehicle, you get to hit X and you have your special combo attack. Mm-hmm. This thing just starts shooting fire out everywhere. Like the Warmonger is like a buggy style vehicle and a military vehicle. Well, it's pretty much a dune buggy with a giant like Gatling gun on the top of it. But once you get your X combo up on it, it's literally driving and the thing's just spinning and shooting rockets and chain guns the whole time.
So it's like a machine gun siren.
Yes. So I'm really stuck on the trials, which is, man, I hate pictures. I really do. Like it's so hard getting the pictures, because trying to get like 5 evolved zombies coming at you. Those are like the super fast green smart zombies is what they're called. I've never seen an area where I can take a picture of 5 of them in one shot. Have not at most I get 3.
This actually tickles me a little bit because like you blew through the trials in 3. Like you had pro strats for that by the time I'd even started, and it makes me laugh that the one trial it sounds like you're having issues with in 4 is the one from the original Dead Rising, which is totally not a U game.
Yeah.
No, it's not. So, like, granted, I've got most of them. A couple of them are really, some of the scenes that seem almost impossible. You just got to find the right spot and take that picture. Like the tribute one is you go into, it's not Kabuki Square, but I'm going to call it Kabuki Square anyway, where it's this little like Japanese section of the mall where it has a big Capcom store and it has a giant Mech Zero like up in the top and a bunch of the cardboard cutouts. So you get like 4 or 5 Capcom items in one picture. Done. Nice. I'm out. Yeah, and one of them I took by accident, like being charged by 5 fresh zombies, which are the glowy eye fast ones. Like that one, I just like, oh wow, they're coming at me. Take a picture. And then I caught 2 of them. I caught 2 of them diving at me. I'm like, well, perfect. Got that one done. But yeah, so I think I got 3 pictures I have left to take to clear out the photograph trials. I am over 50% of the way done with the combat trials. The one that I don't know if I'll ever be able to get is I am missing 1 location out of 163. I don't know where it is.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it'll be a shop. Because there was an achievement.
Me, I have combed that mall several times. And I don't mean several times. I mean beyond counting times. I've been through that mall, taken a lap, every little thing I come across.
Welcome to us with Forza Horizon 3. We're just like, I need 2 more roads out of 468. I just need 2 more.
Yeah, like it's maddening. Yep. And the map usually does a pretty good job on the buildings you can go in and out of. And I don't know if it's glitched. And so I've been replaying this game over and over again. Like I'm probably my 5th time through the story mode. Just maybe it takes me somewhere and it'll mark something, but nope, doesn't mark anything.
It never does.
Jeez.
Yeah, so, man, Dead Rising. I can't remember what was the other one I have. Oh, yeah, and then the combo weapons thing. So that should be just a matter of time before I get that thing to create all 51 of the weapons. I think I'm at like 49.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what last 2 have I not made at this point?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's the ice. No, it made the ice grenade. I think it's no, it can't be the explosive. It might be the acid grenade. I don't know. This was driving me crazy because you have your acid trap and your fire trap and your freezer trap, and then you have like the ice grenade. It's one of those I think I'm missing. So now I'm running around just trying to find Santa Claus to make these traps out of. Like, come on, man.
Yep.
I know I had to make this at some point. Stop it. I got it. But yeah, so I've been playing an absolute F-ton of that over the weekend, or not over the break here. That and the other game I played. Well, before I get into the last one, because I'm sure this will segue into other gentlemen on the show. I messed around with Samsung Gear VR for the first time. Last night. Not that it's really a game that I played, but that really is a really good introductory step into VR. Because, man, it works. It really works.
And surprisingly.
I was really, really surprised on how well that looked. The first thing I did on was the skeleton run. So there's a VR of someone doing like the head first bobsled.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. What is that? The bobsled?
If it's head first, it's skeleton.
Yeah, no, the skeleton. But what's the other one?
Luge?
The luge.
There we go.
Yes.
Luge.
So it's you're on a luge thing and you're going down. But the thing that cracked me up more than anything else is so you're going through this and it has like all it goes off into space and whatnot and then comes back in. The part that made me love VR was I turned around and there's my butt just jiggling. Like I was like that is the best thing ever.
I feel like I'm really there.
Like I was like, this is great. Then I was gonna do the Conjuring 2, some Haunted Mansion thing, and then like I bumped something on the side of it and I exited out of it. But the thing that really blew my mind was I did one of the roller coaster rides from Six Flags, the Tatsu or whatever. It's one of those Superman rides where you're down, and I literally found myself doing like
moving all around,
like leaning into it. There's a turn on that thing. I don't even know how that's possible. Like I'm sitting there, I'm following the track, and like, how is my going back this way? And I'm like, are you up? Like, and I was like, no,
Physics.
I was inverted. Like, coming in, like, what? So that was really cool. So that really whet my appetite, and I really want to see what the higher end of the VR experience could possibly be. So now that I experienced the introductory level, which was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Outside of not being able to see your legs, like that was the one part that was a little disorienting. Was you look up and you look down and there's nothing but space and you're like, whoa. I'm like, I was sitting in the chair and I'm like,
I don't like this.
People were walking in front of me and I expected to see them. I'm like, wait, stop.
Everyone stop moving.
You be still. Stop chewing. I can hear you. Like, so that was really cool. I'm just not gonna talk about that. Then I played Christmas Day. I played an NES Classic.
Oh.
Did you manage to sit 2 feet in front of the TV?
Yes, that cord is this long.
Yeah, it's stupid short. The original NES didn't have a cord that short.
No, the original NES had a cord you could hang yourself by if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But this one, it's so short, but man, I did not realize that thing was like, that thing is teeny.
Yeah.
Like, it is.
It's a little baby.
Yeah. I was disappointed the little flap didn't open up.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah,
like,
it's basically
up
solid.
They had a place that you could probably pop in DS games or something. Like, I thought that'd have been perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a solid brick, isn't it? It's just like a plastiform
It's a solid brick. It does what as advertised, and we literally played Punch Out.
Nice.
And I forgot how much fun Mike Tyson's Punch Out is.
Yeah.
How is that on like a HD TV? Likewise, I mean, I never played Punch Out, but I know it was supposed to be hard.
It looks fine.
Yeah.
I mean, latency-wise as well.
Yeah, Piston Honda destroyed me again.
Yeah, he always does.
Piston and what's his name, the tiger guy with the turban, like his little,
I don't remember his name.
Where you go, bing, 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 you know, like that.
That's a great game, man.
It was really great, and I really forgot, like, how really interesting that game is, because it's not just about being able to dodge, but what it means to earn stars. Because I never really used them.
Yeah.
When I played it as a kid, I was like, I didn't even know growing up that there was this. You could hit the select button and he does like a harder punch. I was like, I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah, I
that's
didn't
the star
either.
punch, isn't it?
Yeah, the star punch was great. I'm like, oh my god, I kicked the crap out of Adam Sandler. Oh, I'm sorry, Flamingo Joe. But yeah, so and I'm like, oh my god, this is a lot of fun. I forgot how much fun the NES was, and then playing Super Mario Brothers with kids that had never played Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And being able to talk all sorts of yang to them, like they don't know what they're doing. I was like, no, you gotta do the rock.
Yeah.
You hold this button and rock into the jump.
Yeah.
That's how you run fast.
Got to use both parts of your thumb.
That's right. You got to rock it. And they're like, what are you talking about? And like,
just listen to me.
Right. And then it was, no, jump now. No, jump now. You know? And getting them to jump into holes and whatnot. It's like, no, there's a secret down there. It's like,
gotcha.
And being yelled at by a 13-year-old was awesome.
Oh.
That was a good time. The last game I played a lot of over the break was obviously Gears 4. I cannot get enough of Horde mode to the point where I am literally playing with random people.
I love that you're like a crack addict.
What do you mean? Like I just want to play Gears.
I can quit anytime I want. I gotta go. I'll be right back.
Yes, Gears. That Horde mode is. It's awesome, especially like man. I got in a random game and like I'm playing a heavy because that's what I'm getting him leveled up to a 10 so I can get my mortar strike or something else. But I mean, my heavy's laid out like I get 100% explosive weapon damage. I have 10 rounds of explosive ammunition, so as soon as I get the drop shot, I am not carrying a regular weapon at all.
Yeah.
I have my boom shot and my drop shot.
Jeez.
Yeah, I do similar with my scout. My scout's damage bonuses in shotguns, so the second wave 3 starts, I'm carrying a Nasher and an overkill.
Oh, yeah, especially once that gets up around 100% damage increase, you're untouchable. Like, you can literally run around. I don't know if you have the X-ray perk yet.
I've got the card, I haven't got it upgraded. I'm going to wait until I hit 10 to actually get that upgraded.
I mean, if I was a scout, I would probably do the deposit boost and grab range. Just so you don't even have to get even close to these things to grab the power laying on the ground.
Right now, my loadout is deposit boost, 80% health bonus.
Okay.
After the 80% health bonus, I think it's shotgun damage, and then I've got speed boost, so I go like 15% faster, so I can just literally bomb it past everybody, like roadie run all the way in.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, but. It's funny when you're playing with people that you don't normally play with that no one plays their class. They're just out like 90% of the time I get in a random match. There's me as a heavy. There are 3 soldiers and maybe an engineer.
Yeah,
and the engineer doesn't even play his class.
No, it doesn't build anything. Doesn't do nothing like that. Like
no,
I've noticed that too.
Right, and no one talks. It is dead silent. Where you really need to communicate in that game to be successful. So next thing you know, like I'll build a turret because I'm annoyed, just to get a turret on there for once we get the groups that play on normal are okay, like they're serviceable. You can probably get to mid 30s, even into the 40s before they start falling apart. Or if you're lucky, you'll keep 2 people through 20 waves. So it seems like everyone drops at wave 20.
Yeah, it's because that's when the challenges stop. Like the bounty cards hit wave 1 to 20 as a certain class, hit wave 1 to 20 on a certain difficulty. People will literally load up a random match, jump in, hit waves 1 to 20 on that class or on that difficulty, and then drop because they've completed their bounty. They don't care about the rest of it, they just want that bounty card done.
Well, yeah, and everyone screws around on hardcore where you really need to be on point.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried playing a few hardcore rounds, and I'll kill 90% of the things on the map, and these guys are just doing nothing.
Just rolling around in the background.
Right. I don't know. Like, and I'm usually far out in front because I seem to keep landing in the supermarket checkout.
Yeah.
I played like that one comes up a lot.
I love that map.
And I have this one spot where you're in the little meat counter. I can drop a boom shot like all the way to the end of their spawn.
Yeah.
I'll have they'll spawn. I'll have 6 kills before anyone has seen anyone.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed when you play with randoms, you get one of two things. You get the people who sit by the base and don't do anything until they're under direct fire.
Mm-hmm.
Or you get the other people, which is the people who run around and get killed instantly and then sit there. And I've had messages sent to me for not going to pick them up. It's like, dude, we're on hard, and you want to run out straight away first thing as a soldier.
There's like 4 dudes standing on top of you. I can't get you.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, unless you're rolling out with a level 10 soldier that has 100% health, you don't have a prayer at that level. Like, you really don't.
Yeah.
Even on the first 10 waves. Hardcore is not messing around. They will execute you as soon as you're down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even, like, the ramp up, like, I was explaining to Tomsy, because we were playing, and he's going to roll around as a scout now as well. And I was explaining to him, like, if we're playing on casual, you can run up to people, and you can shotgun them, and you can get away with it. Even we did a normal run-through, and literally, they straight away go chainsaws on you. They do not care. They will start chainsawing you because it's the easiest way to kill you. So as I was explaining to him, if you use headphones, the second you hear a chainsaw rev, do a backwards roll. Doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter what you're doing, do a backwards roll. As soon as you hear a little rev noise, just get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the amazing part with that AI. Like, I am really curious to see what Insane's like. Because I think at this point where Donnie and I are on our level to try and max out our characters, we can't do normal anymore. Like, you're not getting any gain at all.
Oh,
normal.
Right. Like, the gap is ridiculous.
Right, even at hardcore, I think it's like 120,000 class XP to get from 7 to 8.
Jeez.
And then 8 to 9, I think 8 to 9 is like 120,000, where I think it's 50 to 75,000 between 7 and 8. It's a grind. It really is. And not being able to get a consistent group together, or at least when I'm available to play, which has been even more frustrating. But yeah, it's really good. I really like the class system. The pin packs got me again.
Oh, jeez.
With the UIR drops.
I knew it. I absolutely knew it. As soon as I saw them come in, I actually said to one of the boys, I bet you, and I think I might have said it to my wife as well, I said, I will put money on the fact that as soon as Nobs realizes what this pack is for, I bet you he goes out and either buys them or spends all of his coins to get them.
Well, I didn't spend my coins to get them because that seemed like a bad idea. So it made much more sense for me to drop, I don't know, $30.
Yeah. Am I right here, by the way? That is the Unreal Tournament stuff.
No, it's not.
What the hell is it then?
So you remember the V-Day War where they're fighting the UIR?
Oh, yes.
Their skins. So now I'm like, I think I've only seen one other person rolling around in the UIR elite gear that I. So, and then I read that like after I had spent all my money, not all, but after I spent physical coin on these things, I realized it's a preview pack. So at some point these are going to be unlockable for free later, which really grinds my gears. Like just.
I'm not sure that they will be. I think I looked into it because I was looking into like how many things were included in the packs, like because to give you an idea, Boston, I it was 4,400 coins for a pack of 3 things. Now, the Christmas promotion they did, it was 400 coins for a pack of 3, or it was $10, I think, for a pack.
What do you mean a pack of? No, it was 4,400 coins for a pack.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And wasn't it like 3 in the pack though? It wasn't like the full 6, or was it the 5? So that's 4,400 coins for the 5 pack.
For 5 cards that may even be cards you already have.
Yes,
Oof.
it can be duplicates. It can be completely guaranteed 1 or 2 items, I think, from the UIR. But other than that, you had every chance of getting a standard card in it. And
Yeah.
I looked up in the Coalition forums to see what was included in it. And it's like 55 pages of people basically complaining about the cost of these things.
That's why it's 1 star on the store. It's 1 star.
Yeah.
It's a little ridiculous.
But I did get the male and female elite UIR soldiers, and I got the just the baseline green one too.
Nice.
And they look awesome. They do.
Yeah.
Like I'm not disappointed with how they look. And then I'm sitting like, how many different things were there in there? Because I got I got a few of the weapon skins, the UIR weapon skins, but I got the characters, which for some reason was way more important to me. And I got a vintage Marcus out of it.
The character skins are important because
So he's teal and gold.
you can actually see them. Like, that's
What?
the big thing. You can actually see the characters. That's why the skins for the characters are more important. It's because you jump into a map, it's like, that guy's special. Otherwise, you're running up to someone's back and going, is that a green Nasher I see on his back? That's a cool Nasher, and nobody's ever doing that.
Right.
No, unless it's one of the loud ones, like the Lancer that's got the electric on it, the one that I use.
Or the animated bubbles.
Well, yeah, the animated bubbles ones. My long shot's got sparks going from the tip all the way down to the hilt, and that's an animated skin. So there is a lot of cool stuff to dig into in this game. A lot of worthless stuff.
Yeah, it's the same way in Gears 3. Like I played a ton of multiplayer in Gears 3, so I got a lot of that stuff, and the majority of it was like, oh, I have a brown Nasher instead of a blue one now. Great, thanks.
Yeah.
But at least in this one, you're able to craft these cars that you don't have.
Yeah.
Which is how I got my turret damage boost up to 50%. Was I was buying all these horde packs with my earned coins in game, and I was scrapping all my duplicates.
Right.
So any character I pick now is always going to have a level 5 card because I have 5 level 5 cards for every class.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like it also, like, if you know what class you're gonna play, it can be really advantageous because
you could.
Donnie's got
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Donnie's got all of his engineer cards maxed out because the second he gets something that's not for an engineer, he bins it, he scraps it, and he's good. I haven't got a single level 5 card yet because I tend to bounce from class to class to class. When I'm playing with the guys, I'm a scout, so most of my scout cards are level 4 now, but that means that if I'm opening packs, I'm still upgrading all of the other characters at the same time. So it feels like such a much longer grind for me because I'm trying to spread it out among everybody rather than just nail down the scout class.
Well, that's where I kind of broke that system by having that extra gift cards where I just I wasn't gonna buy a game with that stuff. I was gonna buy pin packs with it, and I did.
Yeah.
But I really do. I really enjoy that horde mode. It's really varied and very intense on how you play your class. Like, my job is to inflict as much damage as possible, and because now I'm past level 7, I'm able to equip 4 cards. The 50% boost on marked enemies might be the most useful skill I never thought I was going to use.
That's a ton of damage.
Yeah, that's why.
Imagine it stacks on top of whatever damage boost you already have.
Oh, wow.
So if I'm hitting a marked enemy with an explosive, like a salvo or a boom shot or drop shot, that's 150% damage. On a turret, I have 100. Like a turret is 200% damage because I have the base damage, and then I have another 100% damage on top of that. So anything that's marked is being put down. I don't care what level we're playing at now.
I think that's why you could do with the sniper.
Reload. If you're active reload on a explosive weapon, that's another 30% damage increase.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's insane. So that's 180% damage I hit on a marked enemy.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's awesome. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I'm down for Horde. I'm hoping to get a crew together tonight.
GNOB33 on Xbox Live.
Sunday Night Horde is going to be a thing.
Yep.
I don't know about my availability, but I might be. We'll see.
No, you will be.
All right,
you will be. I'll unleash the Kraken.
Ooh, you don't want that. All right, anything else you played over the break, Knobs?
I played some card games. Phase 10 is a great card game. If you ever played it, you should look it up. It's fun.
I'm going to write that down for my wife.
All right, Moon, what have you hopefully been enjoying over this past 2 weeks during our TVGP break?
Well, like Knobs, I too played Gears of War 4. I have still been running casual and normal on Horde, though, because shocker of shocks...
Oh, we hit 50 on hardcore.
Yeah, the boys were saying.
We bricked out. We bricked out at 49 one night.
Yeah, Donnie was saying you needed a good scout apparently.
Yes.
But Soulman got peer pressured.
Yeah, he did.
So Soulman joined in for one of the nights, and also Blast from the Past. Almighty Tooth.
Hey.
Yeah.
Jumped in and was knocking her about in horde mode with the rest of us.
Nice.
We played, I think it was on Monday, just gone. We hit 1 to 50 on normal, breezed through it.
Yeah.
But literally it was me, Donnie, Soulman, I think Tooth, and it might have been Tomsy.
I was there when we did that 50 run on whatchamacallit, on one of the DLC maps.
Mm-hmm. We've done it twice more since.
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, sorry. My presence is so forgettable.
Well, it isn't. It's just you're not online. You're worse than me.
I'm always online.
Other than Gears, let's start with the thing I probably put the most time into this break is Mad Max. I started it shortly before we took the break. I think I mentioned it in passing on the last episode. Well, sorry, the last live episode. I mentioned it in passing. It's surprisingly a hell of a lot of fun. If you're gonna pick it up, don't marathon it. That is my key piece of advice.
I've heard that before too.
It's a very big game. Like, if you've played Just Cause 2 or Just Cause 3, you know how big they are. It's similar in size. There's a hell of a lot of driving. Like, exploring the world is fun. Like, the car controls are not like anything I've ever really played before. It seems to be a bit looser. Like, it's kind of drifty slidey, but that's kind of understandable in a wasteland with very little asphalt and mostly just sand everywhere. The game is still beautiful. There's 2 types of storms that hit when you're playing, and both are terrifying and amazing at the same time. The progression in it interested me a hell of a lot. It's got like a campaign, and it's got side stories and side missions and stuff like this. And this is the 3rd time I've made this joke, and I'm going to hate myself even more for it. But it is very, very much a car PG.
Haha!
Yes. Because as you go and you unlock upgrades for your car, better tires, better engines, you start with a V6, you upgrade to a V8, you get spikes on the side, all the bells and whistles of a post-apocalyptic wasteland. The story surprised me. It's a very underspoken story. Like, there's not a lot of it in there, but when it is in there, it's kind of a bit more meaningful, I feel. As a Mad Max fan, like, I love the original movies. I absolutely adored Fury Road when I got the chance to see that. And it's very much the tale of what is it like living in this world when you are a man who was there for when the world was normal and watched it all fall apart. Like, you have been there when life was good, and what does it do to you mentally to go through the wasteland and then have to do what it takes to survive, you know, after everything's fallen apart. It has some fantastic touches in regards to that. There's something that happens at the end of it, which I'm not going to talk about. It kind of surprised me, and I felt it more than I probably thought I would. But at the same time, it was kind of expected because it's a Mad Max story, and if you know Mad Max, you know what happens is going to happen at the end of it.
Yeah.
I think all in all, I think my Xbox clock says I've put about 120 hours into that over the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
Probably 30 or 40 of that is idling, to be honest. So it's probably 90 hours to do everything in the game, which I did. Yes, that's all. Only 90 hours.
No big deal.
I got a text message from friend of the show, Big Mackie, saying, "Oh, it only took you 100 and odd hours to complete it. That's really fast, that is." And I was like, "Yeah, a lot of that is idling."
Jeez.
Well, yeah, I imagine anyone saw my time counter for Dead Rising, because apparently while it's in sleep mode and that game is still on, it's still clocking hours.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So I have no idea how much playtime I have in that game.
I think they've fixed that now, but yeah, it did do at that point. I put probably about another 30 hours into Stardew Valley. Hey, Boston, it's still everything you're afraid of.
Yeah, I'm really... I try not to look at it. Because every time I look at it, I'm like, ooh, look at it. No, oh, it looks so good. No, I can't. I want to start my own farm. No.
At the start of the game, it introduces you to this community center in there, which is basically, it's the old community center of the town. It's fallen apart. And it gives you options to whether or not you want to rebuild it using the local Walmart chain, basically. So it's like you've got 2 stores in the town. You've got the village town and then the JoJo Mart, which is basically just a Walmart.
Yeah.
And you can go in and you can either donate things into the community center, and this is reminiscent of Harvest Moon, to these little fairy looking things, like the little pyramid shaped people, like little, it's kind of, I think they're called Juminjos or something like that.
Some Banjo-Kazooie name.
Yeah, exactly. But you can donate things to them and they will restore sections of the community center. Or if you become a JoJo Mart member, you can literally give him, you sign up for a membership for 5,000 gold, which is not a lot. And then you pay them to do the renovations that happens. So what happens is after you filled out the pantry and the pantry gets restored, be that paying gold for it or donating things to it, then they will fix a bridge that lets you get into this quarry area. After you fill out a fishing one, then it opens this boulder by the mines, which I still haven't unlocked that bit yet because I'm doing the donation aspect rather than the pay money for it. I just did a thing where there's a bus service in town that's always broken down, and they've just fixed that for me, and now there's a whole new area that I'm going to. It's got new things to find, it's got a new mine, it's got the higher ores.
Just everything you're saying is something I need to play.
Yeah.
God, I can't do it.
It still does the thing as well, where it's like, it's still got the fantastic day-night cycle. I think I was talking to my wife about it, and I think I probably overstepped because I'm in the middle of my second year now, and I think at the start of the second year I had the ingredients to make auto sprinklers, but then I think I overreached because now basically all of my farm is like crops, and it's like as soon as one of them is ripe, I'm spending all day gathering all those crops, going to the store, buying new seeds, replanting them, all that kind of stuff.
Hey, Cedos,
You just need a robot.
Yes.
Right.
It's there is a solution to that problem, and I need to increase my friendship with someone in the town to gain access to that. There is a local wizard. He can help. And
Awesome.
I'm not even joking you when I say his name is the wizard.
Oh my god, everything you say is just...
It appeals so much, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. It sounds so dumb and amazing at the same time.
It literally takes me back to playing Harvest Moon on like the SNES and on the GameCube, like all that kind of stuff. It takes me back to all of that, like the Game Boy Advance games that I sat there and I killed the batteries of my Game Boy Advance time and time again with this exact same thing. It is very Rune Factory, I'm going to admit that. Like, it's nothing about the game is particularly original, with the exception of the choice with regards to the community center and the local Walmart chain.
Right.
That's like the only original thing I've really seen in it. But you know what? I don't care. Everything in that game is done so fantastically well.
Yeah.
Like, the characters are done well. Like, every person does feel like they have their own individual personality. The fishing in it, despite being frustrating at first, is actually a lot better when you get used to it. The music, if you haven't, Boston, I know you take a big pleasure in music and games. YouTube the OST for it and just try and get like a playlist of the OST, and you will probably, as soon as you hear the start and notes to a specific song, you will probably understand what season it's in, what location it's in.
Nice.
Like, it captures the thing so well. I'm not sure if it's been widely talked about at all, and I feel a little bit iffy talking about it now because I don't want to get the guy into trouble. There is what's known as heart events, they were in Harvest Moon, where you hit a certain friendship level with someone, you go into a certain area, they are there, you get a little story beat that happens. My wife was playing with the lady that she's currently trying to marry, and they hit a heart event, and it started playing this music, like this really like soft romantic music, and I was like, I know that song. I'm 100% sure I know that song. It was Earth Angel Be Mine.
That's amazing.
In 8-bit
Oh
style.
My god. What is this,
And
Back to the Future?
Yes, that's exactly, like, I started watching it and I started listening to it. I was like, okay, after this heart event's done, I'm going to play you this song and you tell me if that sounds like it. And I played it and she was like, yeah, that's that song. That is 100% that song. Maybe it's a couple of notes difference.
That's amazing.
But I was just blown away. I was like, I knew it from somewhere. Other than that, like, I played a bit of Rocket League with Heiko and my wife. They are getting way beyond my skill level for that game. So if you like Rocket League and you play it on the Xbox One, please get in touch. They need a third and a fourth.
I've seen the videos. They're intimidating.
Yes. High-level pro play is Heiko and my wife. It's a little ridiculous. I started Rayman Legends. I only started this a couple of days ago. I was kind of, after the dark and gritty feel of Mad Max, I was kind of in the mood for something a little lighter.
Yeah.
So I went to the lightest thing I currently have installed, Rayman. It's pretty much Rayman. It's really tight controls, quality platformer, fantastic art style in the UbiArt engine. Very little story to speak of, but you know what? That's fine by me. I want a really good looking platformer, and that is doing its job and doing it really well so far. It's got the right challenge level. Not sure how I feel about... Go ahead, sorry.
I liked how that game got out of your way, and it was very much like, you beat that level, here's everything you collected, here's everything you could have collected, just go to the next level. Like, it's not really like, oh, thank goodness you saved all the stuff, and it doesn't matter, it's just trying to get you... That game has so many levels in it, it's just letting you get down to business.
It's like, you pop out the paint, and it's like, here's the next one you've unlocked. Also, you've unlocked these other 3 in this other world, so do whatever you want. You want to keep going on this one? That's fine. I do like the fact that the paintings in it like have the little skulls underneath it to tell you how difficult it is.
Yep, I like that
a lot.
So
you can get 1 to 5 skulls in each kind of world. Like, I'm enjoying that aspect of it. Like, the presentation is pretty good. They are still running daily and weekly challenges for that game.
Wow,
that's got to be on auto by now. It's got to be one of these points where like, these are the 50 challenges, just repeat them kind of thing.
Yeah. Have you run into one of the musical levels yet?
I did. It was the first one, Castle Rock. I can't remember what song it is.
Those levels are. It's such a great payout for clearing out one of the paintings, and it works in such a great way where you have enough control over the level, but it's also kind of on autoplay, so you can kind of just enjoy almost a music video in there. And it's so good.
Yeah, it's keep all the right trigger, keep all the right on the stick, and just keep on bombing it through the level, jump when necessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I could remember what... It's not Don't Fear the Reaper, but it's a big one.
Was that one Black Betty? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's Black Betty, and you're running through it, and then, like, the little guys pop up and they're like... Arr!
Yeah.
To the sound of the music. It's really well executed, and I loved them in the first one, so... I'm looking forward to getting to... I think that's probably going to be the thing that drives me on, is getting those levels at the end of every painting, because I just want to see what other songs they do it with. I I hit up Elite Dangerous again.
Is it based on the latest news?
I did not know there was latest news in regards to Elite Dangerous.
I think that's the one where people are getting ripped out of hyperspace by aliens?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the correct game, because I'm probably safe from that right now, because we have established on this show that I like my achievements.
Right.
I like them too much. 90 hours in Mad Max says I like them way too much. Yeah, to qualify, by the way, yeah, it's probably about a 20-hour game. If you actually want to mainline it, it's not a 90-hour game. It's probably a 20-hour game. But with Elite Dangerous, me and my wife, I think it was a while ago, we made the decision to go for the Sagittarius A achievement, which is to make your way and see the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy.
Oh, jeez.
Which, I think it's about 20,000 light years there and 20,000 light years back again. It's not a small undertaking. So we did our usual thing. We bounty hunted, we got a bunch of money, then we bought the ship that's designed for exploration. We increased its jump range, we increased the fuel storage of it, we did all of that. We made it to the center of the universe, and now we are literally both in the middle of our journey back again.
Oh, jeez.
It is, for me, a very good podcast game, because it's like, I don't need to listen to the sound of ambient space until I'm in dogfighting. I want to hear the engines and stuff like that, but right now it's stick my headphones in and then jump 1,000 light years and take a bit of a break. That game operates really, really well. They've updated it recently with a bunch of quality of life improvements. The galaxy map loads a lot faster. The jump from system to system seems to take about a second longer than it used to, but everything else about the game operates smoother, it operates faster. It's like, it's small little things, but small little things which, when you're making a 20,000 light year jump or light year journey, makes a big difference. So coming back, we both are going for like this. You get rated in the game, like it gives you ratings for trading. It starts off as like newbie and ends with elite. Like elite is like you gain XP up levels until you hit elite. It does that with trading, it does that with combat, it does it with QCQ, which is PvP, and it does it with exploration. So we've got our ships for this journey outfitted with a bunch of exploration stuff to give us as much experience points as possible towards that feat. On the way back, I decided, here's a good idea. There's a neutron star field just above the default center plane of the galaxy. I'm going to go there because they're worth a lot of money. They are also terrifying. Like, you come out of a hyperspace jump, and there's literally a tiny ball of light, and it's spewing out what looks like white gas.
Jeez.
And it's one of the things with it where if you fly close to a planet, it's got, like, say the planet's that big. Well, say the planet's in your view. You will have a smaller circle outside of the planet, or a bigger circle just outside of the planet, which is the gravity well. Which is, you fly into that, you're in atmosphere essentially, and you need to turn around and fly out of it. When you get to a neutron star, it's a tiny little pinprick of light, and the gravity well is probably about 60 to 100 times bigger than the actual star itself.
Jeez.
Because it's got such a pull on it. And it's one of those things where flying into it really can do damage. If you die, you lose your exploration data. In order to gain XP for them, you need to turn them in at civilized space. So I'm currently flying back through essentially a minefield, trying to explore as many of the mines as possible to get back to civilized space so I can hand them in and make it about 40 to 50 million in credits, which is a lot of money in that game just for my exploration data. So there is reasons to go out and do this type of stuff, but for me, the one reason was I wanted that achievement. A lot.
Man.
It's so good though, like it's kind of super chill to just go and fly about and, you know, jump, don't have to worry about people, don't have to worry about getting shot down. But I did see they have like a galactic news feed where in the game, like you can pull up this dashboard on your ship and it will tell you about what's going on in the universe, like community goals, stuff like that, but they phrase it all in universe. So it's like, oh, this corporation is looking for donations of, osmium and this other material, which you can mine, and we will give you a bunch of money. That's the community goals, basically. So it's like everybody who contributes to that gets rewarded for it.
Right.
And I looked at it, and it had like a bunch of green circles, and it was like, news has erupted this week following numerous reports of people being interdicted out of frameshift and being attacked by ships which were of no humanly design. Now, I know the original Elite had aliens in it. I know it was a fight of the humans against the aliens. Aliens haven't even been brought into this game at all until this point.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like it might be part of their free update. But right now, I just want to get back to the civilized space, trade in my stuff, buy a lander, and then go exploring the surface of some planets, because they now have that feature in there as well.
Jeez.
Where you can actually land on planets and do some mining and stuff like that there. After that, the only other thing other than the usual mobile stuff I play, I realized, and I actually post about this in Discord, I realized I'm in the US now. I can download Monster Strike.
Oh no.
Ooh.
I need to stay away from Monster Strike.
Yeah.
It has the puzzle with dragons loop, shall we say.
Yeah, like a standard gacha game.
The gameplay is fantastic. It's really fun to play. Great to like pinball your monsters around and kill as many people as possible. If I keep playing it, I will not stop playing it. So I have stopped playing it before I can't stop playing it.
Yeah.
It will be the new Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for me, where I'm playing it every single day regardless. But that's it for me, other than the above and, like I said, animation throwdown, Galaxy of Heroes, that kind of stuff. Over to Boston.
All right, let me pull up my notes here. I played a bunch of stuff here. I finally got through Inside. My wife and I played it. This is the puzzle game by the guys that did Limbo. Man, this game's only about 4 hours long. My wife and I played it, and we 100%ed it, got all the secrets, got the extra ending and everything. What a hell of a ride. This is... I can't recommend this game enough. It really is a puzzle game, and it's just 2D, but the two things it does really well are it never explains the story to you at any point. And everything that's there is mysterious and interesting at the same time. So that's 100% in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, so I was maybe just a little bit... I saw you playing that on TA, and I was like, for achievements for anybody who pays attention to me. I saw that you'd unlocked a bunch of achievements in it. I was like, I cannot wait to hear you talk about this.
I think the thing that it does really well is... The thing that a lot of puzzle games don't do well is... Every puzzle in this game is primarily centered around trial and error. And on paper, that sounds like a nightmare, because almost no games do that sort of thing well. But what Inside does really well is, as soon as you finish a puzzle, it checkpoints you right there. It either checkpoints you right there or checkpoints you at the beginning of the next puzzle. So if you die, and you're going to die a whole bunch, you don't have to play, two puzzles over again. You don't have to do all this exploration you just did. It starts you right at the beginning of the puzzle you're in the middle of right now. And I think that's such a huge and important thing, because, number one, you can't fall very far before it kills you. And number two, a lot of the joy in this game is going into a puzzle and you look at it and you say, oh, okay, I've done this thing 3 or 4 times. I know what's going to happen. You do this thing and it kills you. And it's like, okay. Or it does something 100% different of what it did before. I really want to talk about the ending, because...
yeah, I was going to say, what were your thoughts on that, like, without spoilers? Because I've heard people talk about the ending. I haven't actually played the game myself. Something tells me how much I loved Limbo. That probably would have hit my top 10 last year based on what everybody has said about that game.
Yeah.
And it's actually something I was curious with you, whether or not that would have...
It would have been really high on my list.
Really?
Yeah, it's an experience that is so good and so varied over the 4 hours. The number of puzzles that you run into that you know, by the time you almost get sick of an area and you're like, okay, I'm kind of done doing these puzzles, you go into a totally separate area and you're doing puzzles that are completely new and completely different in that game. And the back part of that game is ridiculous and incredible, and again, such a different experience from the front part of that game that I'm not even entirely sure I could spoil it, but I'm definitely not going to, because it's a thing where my wife and I finished it and we were just sort of sitting there, we're like, wow, that was okay. That was something incredibly different. That I'm not sure I could have guessed where that was going. So we finished it, and then I heard that if you go, there's these little orbs throughout the game that are basically side puzzles. And if you go through and you break all of those, basically go look it up. It's only like an hour more to go do it. Go do all of those, and then look up the solution for the extra ending. If you go do that, it sort of has a different take on the ending that I thought was really good. I really liked Inside. I'm trying not to talk about it too much because I went into it completely blind, and I think a lot of the puzzles in there were really good and really interesting because I went in blind. And I think I got pulled into it pretty deep because I knew nothing about it other than, hey, it's the game the Limbo peeps made. So I can't recommend it enough. Moon, you have to find a way to get it if you enjoyed Limbo. I've never even played Limbo, which I should probably go back and do. But yeah, this would have been pretty high on my list, at the very least, for being a game that has such a consistent and interesting art style. It's a little bit oppressive, and when it lifts that in really cool ways. And it's just a really, really well-designed puzzle game.
Well, it sounds like they've learned a hell of a lot from Limbo, because like Limbo is super oppressive as well. It's very, very dark. It lifts it once, really, but the puzzles in that, like the problem I ran into with that game, I still loved it. Like on the 360, I went mental with it and did the whole gamer score thing and got every achievement on it. I played it again, and I'm missing one achievement on the Xbox One. The achievement I'm missing is to play through the entire game in one sitting and die less than 5 times.
Jeez.
The issue that I ran into with that game was it was a very much a case of you do this mini puzzle, and then you get onto a bigger puzzle, you die on the bigger puzzle, you go back to before the mini puzzle, and then if you're doing it over and over again, then you get careless, and then you start dying on the first puzzle. So it sounds like they've picked up a hell of a lot of know-how from making Limbo and hearing the complaints that were levied against that game. Like I after our recent talks, and all the podcasts we've done, I've got Oxenfree and Inside both pinned on my homepage, waiting for me to click on them and buy them.
Yeah. Oh man, Oxenfree is so good. I need to go back and play that because they added additional endings and some new game plus, which I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm really curious to see how that changes the story. But yeah, Inside is really great. I can't recommend it enough. It's only 4 hours. My wife and I had a really fun time playing through it because we sort of treated it the same way that we did with The Witness, where you're sort of in one room solving a puzzle. So it's really easy for two people to say, like, oh, what if you just pick up this thing and put it over there and then do this other thing, and then maybe that'll let you go. So it's good for that kind of couch co-op puzzle gaming.
Yeah, two people looking at the puzzle have two completely different perspectives.
Yeah. Diablo 3 got its anniversary update recently.
I need to load this up. I've had people telling me I need to load this up.
It's only about an hour long. Basically, go to Old Tristram. There's a portal there, and basically takes you into a 16-floor rift that is Diablo 1.
Mm-hmm.
They did something to the graphics engine where it looks like it's 640 by 480.
Yeah.
You can only move 8 directions, and the animation is really, really, really choppy. You fight the Butcher, you fight Diablo, you pick up a bunch of Diablo 1 weapons and items, you fight Diablo 1 bosses. It's pretty good. I sort of, in a weird way, I sort of wish it was shorter. 16.
Did you get the cow pet?
No, I heard something about it, but
Yeah, Mackie was talking about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I sort of wish it was a little shorter. 16 floors of Diablo 3 enemies and Diablo 3 tile sets is a little bit too long. I didn't play it on a super hard difficulty. I think I played it on like Torment 1. So it wasn't super hard, but I thought it was a really cool little homage to Diablo 1. And it was kind of fun to fight Diablo 1's Butcher again and remember how terrifying that was as a child. But if anyone wants to play it, it's only around January of every year, so you have like 2 more weeks to do it. But it's pretty fun. I played the PS4 version, and that ran fine. So, and it looked how it was supposed to, which is kind of crummy, I guess. Binding of Isaac just got a new update. Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus.
Are we talking console or PC here?
PC right now. Console will be coming out in spring.
Okay, because that's another game I have pinned based on you talking about it. But at the same time, I also understand that the console versions of that game are not ideal.
I would recommend the console versions because I know you don't have a super powerful PC. It seems like a really easy game on PCs, but it's getting tougher and tougher on machines because there's now like 500 something items in the game, and it's getting hard for the game to chew through a lot of that.
Yeah.
I would recommend if you want to start on Binding of Isaac right now on the console is a really good idea because Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus is really hard.
Yay!
And it wouldn't be hard if you started with Afterbirth Plus now because there's something the game does at some point where it ratchets up the difficulty. It originally started off with, hey, why don't we just put mods in Binding of Isaac, and then turned into a whole bunch of new bosses and new endings and new areas and like 55 more items, and there's like 200 more types of rooms, something like that. So it's a huge update. It has a lot of problems, truth be told. I think we all know how much I like Binding of Isaac since I'm literally playing it every day. The tendency of Ed McMullen, the designer of it, to come out of the gate with a new Binding of Isaac expansion and have it be really mean is in full effect on this. Thankfully, he's already pulled back on a bunch of stuff. One of the biggest problems this expansion has is it introduced a new enemy type, which is portals. And basically, it's just monster spawners.
Oh, jeez.
The main problem with that is they can show up on the first floor when you don't have a lot of health and you don't have a lot of damage, and this thing is just spitting out random enemies from across the game. It sounds like he's going to go back and redo those, which would be really great. But otherwise, it seemed okay. They put in hard mode for greed. It's called Greedier. That is a real jerk of a system. So how greed mode, because I haven't talked about it in a while, how greed mode works is you get 10 enemy waves, and for the more waves you kill without hitting the stop button, you get more and more money. And you use that money to buy items from the shop. On greed mode, every wave happens every 15 seconds, if I remember correctly, or if you wipe out the wave, the next one just spawns. This one, it's between 4 and 7 seconds. The enemies are harder, and before you would get like maybe 4 to 7 coins would drop every wave. Now it's 1. So this is ridiculously difficult. Whereas the original greed mode was way too easy. I think overall, in a couple of weeks, it'll be really good. Once they get in there and they kind of tweak everything and they make it a little bit more evenly balanced, I do really like the new challenges they have in there. I completed one called April's Fool, which I won't spoil for anybody. That one was really good. I did just beat one last night called Back Asswards. And you start at the very end of the game with a full suite of health and items, and you go backwards through the game. So you're going... When you go to a new floor, you're fighting the boss, and you have to find the entrance to go up to the previous floor. What's unfortunate about it is you get weaker as you go, it takes health away from you, and it takes items away from you as you go from floor to floor.
Jeez.
So by the end of it, you are incredibly hobbled and just trying to crawl across the finish line.
It sounds about right for his game design, though.
Yeah, the nice thing about the challenges is those are really badges of honor. Not only do they unlock stuff in the game, and he made some updates to some of the characters that they get new and better skills as you finish these challenges, but when you go through and you finish them, it really is a true test of being able to stretch your knowledge of the items and the gameplay systems to their fullest, and it feels really great when you pick up that trophy at the end and you're like, oh, thank God I'm done with it. Like, that was a lot of fun, but I hope I never have to do that again. But I'm playing it on PC, so I will have to do it again on the PS4 version. Crap.
Yay.
Yeah. So I'll probably be talking about that probably for the next 2 or 3 weeks as they kind of change it and I get through. I haven't even dug into the new character yet, which is crazy in a way that is maybe too inside baseball for a show that doesn't cover this game exclusively. But once I play through them, I'll find a way to explain it in a interesting way for the show. I promise.
It blows my mind you're still playing that game, though.
Well, the thing that's really great about it is the daily challenges are really good, because not only is the character randomized, but it's also how far you're going into the game and the difficulty. So you might come in one day and you're playing as Isaac and you're playing normal mode and you go to fight Mom's Heart, which is just 8 floors. But then the next day you might be playing as Judas on hard mode and you go all the way to fighting Mega Satan. And those 2 runs are interesting for really different ways. And then being able to couple leaderboards on that, so you're compared to all of your friends and you're compared to everybody in the world, you kind of get a different game every day. And it's really, really good. I haven't done any of the new challenges in this one, and I haven't downloaded any new mods yet. But I feel like I have to crack into some of the vanilla stuff before I get into the mods. Last but not least, I started and finished the campaign of Gears of War 4. I really wish I would have played this last year, because it would have showed up on my top 10, despite the intro to that game being hot garbage. I really hated the prologue, and I really hated up until the point where you start storming that settlement. Everything before that I really hated.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of all that stuff either. It was when you first meet JD and the other folks, and they're going
Kate
into that settlement. Yeah,
Beardy
that's
Joe.
when it.
I really like seeing that automated city being built with the robots and whatnot.
Yeah,
and I love the running gag in that game with that robot lady.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really clever. I
thought the prologue was kind of the worst parts of Gears, which is you're under siege and it's this point-to-point. I get what they were trying to do story-wise, and I get that they were trying to introduce the bad guy, that Jin lady. But the thing that I love in Gears is you go into an act and you're spending the entire act in one area and you're clearing it sort of point by point and you're getting story beats in between and you're solving these huge giant puzzles, and everything up until that settlement really wasn't that at all. But once this game gets going, it manages to ratchet up not only the difficulty, but also the craziness and the set pieces throughout the entire thing, all the way up until the final boss battle. in a way that I kept playing it. I kept saying like, well, that was crazy. I mean, that has to be the high. No, okay. Well, there's something even crazier. Okay, let's go into this dam and let's go take care of that. That's probably pretty normal.
That dam
inside.
level
no, it
was a
wasn't.
masterpiece.
Man,
that was really good.
There's so much stuff in there that I liked. The ore grinder was a fantastic section. Especially leaving that was something that I thought I'd never do in a Gears game when you're getting out of that pit.
Yep.
I loved the horde sections, except for the very first one that was kind of crummy, where you're defending that library or settlement or whatever.
Yeah, the place where whatever the brothers are, where he bites the bullet.
Yeah.
Did you make that recognition? Because I think Nobs missed it the first time. But did you make the recognition where that's one of the brothers is one of the people manning the gun?
That's one of the Carmines.
Yeah, one of the
How
Carmines.
did I miss the Carmine?
Yeah, they said Kate's mom said like, "Good job, Carmine. You shot down the Condor or whatever it was." I am surprised at how much I liked another Gears game after all this long, and I'm surprised. I think one of the biggest missteps this game had was I really wish the marketing didn't tell you what JD's last name was.
Yes.
Because I think that revelation would have been way bigger and way more. It was still a really cool area and a cool chapter and all that, but I think that revelation would have been way better if you were just like, okay, cool. That's, yeah, great.
Yeah.
And I thought that what happened with Marcus was great in the middle of that.
Mm-hmm.
Where he was partially absent for a reason. That's where I wish that was a 4-player co-op where the person that's Marcus Phoenix is literally stuck in that thing for the entire time everyone else is playing.
Yeah, I liked Marcus being back. I liked a lot of the stuff they did in the very last act. I really liked the final boss battle, and I know I'm alone in that completely.
Yes, you are.
I thought that was fantastic, and I don't know why people hate it. It's so good. Definitely won't spoil it, but I can really recommend Gears 4. I don't think you necessarily need to play the first 3 Gears games to enjoy it. I think you'll get a bigger payout if you do. But it somehow makes me really excited for Gears 5, which is not a thing I would have... I remember the original trailer for Gears 4, and I was like, okay, another Gears, great. It's dark, it looks like we're fighting the Locust. Hooray.
Mm-hmm.
But the combination of fighting the robots, the DBs, for just long enough, and then fighting the Swarm for just long enough was a pretty great decision, because it wasn't like, hey guys, the Locusts are back, let's go fight them for another 5 acts. Yay.
You know what? It's almost paced out the same way Horde mode is. You fight the DBs for a little bit, and then you fight your normal enemies towards the end.
Yeah. Gears 4 is so good. I once you get over the hump of that intro and you get to like Act 1, Chapter 2, like it's literally the beginning. As soon as you get in that cool city that's being put together, at that point it's all uphill from there for the entire game. There's nothing else in that game that is bad or boring or downhill, and it just ends on a huge crescendo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and it does, like, it for some reason that game kept its humor without Barrett. I think it's not JD, it's the other kid.
Dell. Dell is
Dell.
great.
Yes.
Dell is
great.
Fantastic. Cat is
fantastic.
really interesting. JD is fine. He's a little boring up until probably the Act 4, and then he starts getting a little bit more interesting. I forgot the wind flares too.
Oh
yeah.
I sort of almost got sick of those every time they'd be like, oh, we're outside. Oh my god, it's a wind flare. And I was like, oh god, really? And then they would do something different in each one, even if it was just the wind is blowing in a different way and I can't throw grenades now.
Or you have to destroy the barricade that's ahead of you with that thing.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil that, but that was sort of like, okay, that's a cool callback, and also that was kind of fun. I could keep talking about Gears 4. I wish I had time to play Horde mode because obviously it is a huge hit for 2/3 TVGP.
Horde mode, man. Horde mode 3.0, I think, is a masterstroke. That really needed to keep that feeling fresh.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can only recommend the single player. I think I blew through it in a little bit less than 10 hours. It was like between 8 and 10 hours. And I played through it on normal, and it wasn't hard at all. Some of the boss battles were a little bit challenging, but not in a way where I ever felt like I was really up against it. It's so good. You need to go play it. It's really good. But that's all I've been playing. So let's take a break.
Bathroom.
Enjoy.
And also, I should
What
probably
was
feed the
that?
cats. I said bathroom.
Oh. Do you know what? That's not a bad idea.
Before I shoot Boston, before I shoot to the bathroom, there is.
Yes. Yeah, please don't
Agree
shoot me.
on. Do you agree on how it feels a bit younger? Like, I was trying to figure out a way how to phrase the writing in it, but how the
Yeah.
writing feels fresher.
I think it feels like I think Gears of War 3 got a lot of flack for a really good reason because it was a little too much up its own butt about being like a heavy story. It's very much like, yeah, we need to close this out heavy.
Be serious and have all this impact and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and I think Gears 4 had a lot of impact and it told a really good story, but it didn't need to be such a sad bastard about it the whole time.
That's what I love about JD and Dell. Like, their conversations backwards and forwards is always fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you always throw paper.
Yeah, like
Or as you like to
there's
call
so
it,
much of
paper,
that
paper,
stuff.
paper.
Yeah, like there's so much of that stuff, or continually calling all clear. There's so many good jokes like that the Gears trilogy really tried to do, but couldn't get out of its own way of trying to be sad. Yeah, Gears 4 is so good.
Anyway, yeah. Now I will be right back.
Okay. Hi, everyone in chat. How's everyone doing?
Such a hassle.
I can't get the lighting right in here. Okay, do we have any news stories here before we start? Sort of light on content for the second half here. Yeah. Some music, batteries. I don't know about that. I don't know what that's going on. Samurai Showdown theme. Elder Scrolls Online. Oh yeah, Awesome Games Done Quick is going on right now. What's being played right now? Ooh, nice Coast Mall. I gotta get back to that. Up next is Shovel Knight. Ooh. Nice. Oh, hello.
Well, hi.
Sounds like the baby's starting to get fussy, so as soon as he gets back, let's try and bang out this last segment here.
Well, since there's only a segment left.
Yeah, I mean, December continues in releases and news stories. Yeah, I gotta start watching Awesome Games Done Quick. I started today. Shovel Knight is up next. Looks like Mega Man 1 is up after that, and Quake is up after that. Quake speedruns are great.
Really? Oh, I haven't watched any of those.
Yeah, that game is... because of how fast that game is, speedruns are really interesting. Because it's like, okay, I just started this level, 10 seconds later I'm done. It's just like, wait, where'd you even go?
Oh. sit on the wires, you muppet.
It sounds like he's sitting in an inflatable chair.
I mean, maybe he is.
Didn't it sound like he's climbing into, like, an inflatable piece of furniture?
An old beanbag chair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Alright, Moon, I was just telling Knobs that it sounds like the baby's getting fussy downstairs, so let's try and knock out this last segment here.
Cool.
Alright.
Oh, excuse me.
Alright, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ready.
Alright. Ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody. We got releases for the week of January 9, 2017.
Hey,
Wow.
Snuck up
Had
on
to think about that one for a second. Didn't even scroll over. It's blocked off. And we got nothing.
Sorry. Let's move over to news stories. Mass Effect Andromeda releases March 21st, 2016. The 23rd in Europe.
That is great news.
Yeah, that's really soon. I know they released a little bit of a gameplay trailer. I'd sort of like to see a little bit more of that, because that's very soon.
Mm-hmm. I'm on media blackout for it, so they can release nothing as far as I'm concerned. I still won't see it.
Well, that's what it's been so far.
Well, yeah, that's why this is good news.
Yeah, I'm still really excited about this game. I think we are, one of the few groups of people that didn't completely hate Mass Effect 3, and we remember it's a good game. Don't everyone stop being crazy. I'm really curious to see where they go with a lot of stuff with Mass Effect. It also seems like there's something in the trailer that Musin was talking about on PUP where apparently there are some skill trees now, and maybe you have the majority of the classes and you don't pick one from the beginning.
Interesting.
So that's an interesting choice that I hope pays off pretty nicely.
Yes.
The other news story we have here, because, things aren't super crazy busy right now with the video game industry, NVIDIA announced a service that will let you stream PC games called GeForce Now. It's very much like PlayStation Now and, God, what was that one streaming service, a really early one on PC? Oh, jeez. I don't remember. This is kind of crazy because here's the pricing. It is $25 for 20 hours of gameplay.
Oh, jeez.
Let that sink in. I cannot understand how this was a good idea.
Did they not learn from Sony's whole PlayStation Now, poop show that, maybe the hour count price thing was not a good idea?
It's never, if you offer Fallout 4 on your service, someone's going to you could blow through $125 in a month just playing Fallout 4. Or you could just buy it on PC if you have a good enough PC, or just buy it on console. You probably have one of them. I know they're trying to pair it with the new Shield. They're really trying to push. They're trying to push HDR, and they're trying to push 4K with the Shield. But this seems like such a crazy price and a crazy idea, especially with, I saw the Steam Link was on sale for like $20 during Christmas. That seems like a better deal. That price just seems so insane that I don't understand how that got off the ground.
Unless that turns into a subscription service real quick, I can see that vanishing real quick.
Well, also, price aside, why do you announce a streaming service like that in 2017? None of them have succeeded. PlayStation Now has succeeded only because Sony is too hard-headed to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, that's why Microsoft doesn't have one. They bided their time long enough to see if it worked or not, and it doesn't. So they didn't. Watch, they probably announce one next week.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to email we got this week. Jimbo Jangles writes in, with all the re-releases of games coming out lately that aren't even that old, Skyrim, Darksiders, the last 27 Resident Evils, my question to you is this week is, what childhood games would you like to see resurface with shiny new graphics on current consoles? My pick would be the Strike series. Desert Jungle and Soviet Strike were some of my favorite games growing up on Genesis and PS1. What would you want to see brought back? P.S. Boston, I hope you enjoyed Inside.
Jungle Strike's a good one.
All three of those Strikes games were pretty good.
Yeah, Urban Strike, Jungle Strike, and Desert Strike.
I'd like to see...
Something about a helicopter, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to see as like a $5 downloadable game, I'd like to see Little Nemo the Dream Master for the NES.
Jeez.
That was a fun game.
I can only think of two off the top of my head. Everybody hates this game, but I loved it because it was the only game I had from my Master System when we first got the Master System, because it was built in. Alex Kidd, the first one, with its complete crap bosses and its complete random chance of getting up to the last boss, and then he beats you every time because it's literally rock paper scissors.
Yeah, boy, that first Alex Kidd game.
Yeah, give me that again in clean cut, like redo the art, redo everything else kind of thing.
Make it look like a boy in his blob.
Yeah, exactly. Or give me. I have a copy of this on my Xbox One, but it's a port. So give me a completely redone Blast Core.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That could be a hot game.
Everybody likes, seems nowadays specifically, everybody likes more and more the type of games where you replay it, where you get better, where you get faster with the leaderboards,
yeah, I was
online
about to say,
leaderboards and stuff like that. Redo it from the ground up, give it a new art style, and give it online connectivity, ghosts of your friends runs and stuff like that, and I'll take that any second.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Oh man, I'd like to see some of those really goofy platformers. Like, I'd love to see Decap Attack again.
Yeah.
And Alter Beast, but I really think the one game I think would play like gangbusters right now is a Space Harrier game, or some sort of vector style shooter. Like, could you imagine Space Harrier in VR?
Yeah,
I was just about to say that exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
Time. Man. Yeah, I feel like we need more collections of weird games, sort of like almost like how Sonic's Genesis collection got, where it's what was that Oasis game, Last Oasis, whatever that was. No one remembers that game, but it's pretty good. I don't know. There's so many good games, especially little ones that came out like around that time that have sort of been forgotten a little bit. Actually, that's all our emails and tweets this week. So, we're doing PUP. It's hour and a half first segment, and then 5 minutes second segment. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us, tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. All this stuff is on the right-hand side of the page.
All right, and don't forget to join the forums. Please mark yourselves on the map. Join us for our game nights. Monday night, 10 p.m. EST on the Xbox One. You're playing Battlefield 1 or Gears of War 4. Kind of leaning towards Horde.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's going to be Monday Night Horde. But right now, it's going to be Sunday Night Horde. Meet me at 8 p.m. EST tonight.
Do it.
As we're recording. Tuesday is Destiny on the PlayStation 4. I think that's 10 p.m. EST as well, or whenever the invite goes out. And Wednesday night's Rocket League on the PlayStation 4, and Thursday Steam Game Night. And we were looking to hoard it up from Friday to Sunday.
And Monday. And don't forget to watch the show live, twitch.tv/E1N1 Network, That Video Game Podcast on YouTube. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you all next time.
Laters.
Happy 2017.
No. All right, how many titles do you have, Moon?
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Trying to find Santa Claus. My butt, Jiggling.
Oh
I
my
didn't
god!
know if that-
I wish
didn't know if it was
you guys
appropriate.
could see it.
No, that's
It was
actually
one of-
my pick for this week, but mine is my butt's jiggling.
That was one of the. Oh my god! The visual. I'll never forget it.
Also,
I'll
who-
never forget that.
Who rendered that? Like, who said,
Yeah.
like,
It's not
hey,
rendered. Who got that video?
oh, it's a live video? That's even
It's
better.
it's a live
Yeah.
video. Like you're on it, and like you're going down like Superman, like skeleton run down the luge thing, like going like this, and you turn, and there it is.
What's even better is somebody had a 360 camera strapped to the back of them at some point.
Yeah.
Actually doing that.
Just to see it, it's little blue bubbles.
My last title is Pistol Honda Destroyed Me. Piston Honda, I should say.
Honda.
I have Machine Gun Siren, My Butt's Jiggling, which is my vote. Drifty Slidey, Car PG, because I hate you. And Only 90 Hours.
It's got to be my butt. My butt jiggling. It's
Yeah.
got to be.
I'm just
The
circling that one.
instant,
It's too good.
you know, it's a great visual image as well.
The true power of VR.
Is there a way you guys can look that up?
Oh, I'm sure
Gear,
somebody has it on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube does.
Samsung Gear
YouTube.
VR Skeleton Run rear view. Like
Yeah.
it's.
The Google search writes itself.
It might be. I'm gonna see if that works.
Yeah, the YouTube does 360 videos where you can click around them
Come
now.
on, I need to type stuff.
Skeleton Run. All right, let's record. Let's record this real quick, and then we can look up a jiggling butt. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 481 for January 9th, 2017. My butt's jiggling.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Jelly on a plate.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for watching live. Very happy to see everyone back in the new year. We will see you next week. Be here. It'll be cool. Probably not. All right, see you guys.
See ya.